This is a 5.8 liter fuel injected motor out of a van. Watch our other video. Bubby gets eviscerated, I believe. This is where we got this motor from. So now what we're going to do is basically tear it down to like a long block kind of configuration, because we're going to use it as a mock-up motor for building the engine break-in stand, designing it for a Ford. It's already set up for Chevrolet. My buddy Joe's got that already made, but we're going to make some brackets and or some mounting bars, I guess. And we want to use a motor that's got the stock fan configuration and all that, so we can get the front to back and the left to right. Alright, so I don't know if you've had this problem before, but these aluminum distributors in the steel blocks, when they were installed, didn't have any sealant on it. So the dissimilar metals corrode, and when you go to take something apart that's this old, that hasn't been touched, you basically take an ice pick and get in that groove, and then you spray some lubricant on it and let it sit for a day or two. It's the only way it's going to penetrate it and get it, you know, where you can tear it apart. So the groove that I'm talking about is right here. You can see that all the way around. You just ice pick around that. So, in case you didn't understand what I was saying, is this groove right in here. It just gets corrosion in there, a little bit of dirt, a bit of water, and you just get your ice pick in there, and then it'll fill up with lubricant. I use PB Blaster, you know, I use whatever, and let it sit probably overnight. Then this distributor will probably come out. If not, sometimes you have to put a pipe wrench around that to get it to come loose, to get enough pressure on it to come loose without breaking stuff. Alright, so I did place a cold chisel right here and right here. Just whack it a couple times. Not like to try and turn it, but just to give it some shock. Sprayed a little more juice on it, scraped it out. It's the next day now, and it came loose. It's kind of nice. I've had harder ones, so now that can come out and be out of the way while we're mocking this thing up. Alright, here we are. We got the motor stand in the garage. We got the mock-up motor, and this is currently set up for small block Chevy, or big, I think they're the same, small or big block motor mounts and stuff. And basically what happens is a bar is bolted on here, comes up to the motor mount, same thing over there, and you know, fans in there and all that. The control panel has provisions for it's kind of upside down, but has provisions for a lot of stuff. Your ignition fan, the start, main on and off, vacuum, fuel pressure, oil temp, water temp and oil pressure, and then some lights associated with that. We're installing some AEM oxygen sensors. We're also going to put an electric fuel pump and an electric motor, electric water pump on this. I'm not sure where to put the switches. The actual owner, this isn't mine, this is a buddy of mine's, but the owner will let me know what he wants to do there. But we're also going to try and put a shut-off valve here or somewhere like that for the fuel. So right now when you disconnect it, you got to put the shoulder bolt in. Yeah, so a little bit of work getting this guy up there and on, and then getting that, you know, the brackets made. We've got some 2-inch square mild steel and some plate we're going to use, and we'll just kind of go with it and see where we're at. Well, one fluorescent light down. I haven't cleaned the mess up yet, but we got our fan lined up, level. Got the back mount made. Just haven't assigned these holes yet. And just right up on the edge. I'm going to lower that down just a little bit because there's a little more gap down there. than there is up here. So the next step is to make these guys, the motor mount down to the frame. I think I'll do a bar straight across here and then come up to the motor mounts. We'll have to see. See if you can get a better look at this side over here. Oh, kind of hard with that chain. Yeah, there you go. So looks like the motor mount comes right on this cross beam that goes down. So I'll have to do something, either come across a beam here and come up, or I don't know, we'll figure it out. It's for tomorrow job. Right now we got it level front to back. It's a little bit low in the back, just a little bit. So we'll figure that out. Maybe, yeah, raise it up front. Yeah, a little high in the back, sorry. Anyway, well, don't laugh at my welds because I'm a terrible TIG welder, but that's why I'm practicing. Anyway, there's one motor mount, a nice angle, reinforced tube going through, went through, welded on the outside and outside, so this tube goes all the way through. Got a point on this, so it's got some strength to it. And then just did 2 flat bars here and bolted it straight through. It's got a little bit of an angle on it, keep it from going back and forth, but it's still bolted on the back. So, and now we're starting on the second side. Got the tube cut, and we're cutting the next piece of square tube. So here we go. Well, it's all supported by the newly made mounts. I welded these on the wrong side, so I had to re-weld new ones over here. But my welds are getting a little bit better, and I'm pretty happy about that. Practice makes perfect. Anyway, now we're going to take the cruddy motor off and put the cool motor on. Well, the real reason for mocking that up is so I can get my race car motor broken in. It's only got the small springs on it for the cam because it's a flat tappet cam, and it fits. Of course, I also wanted to make sure that the mounts would work for a regular motor, which is why we had the fan on there, but this one's got the electric water pump. So next is electrical. Turn the ignition on. See what we got here. Which way does this thing turn? Clockwise or counterclockwise? Counter. Counter. So we wanted to retard it, which would be turning it counterclockwise. Okay. That fuel there. Did the distributor move maybe? No, I got it tight enough.
thermostat, I think, was a problem.